And now we're back. Wait, let me switch that to a different thing. And now we're back. There we go. Um, Welcome to Avatar Legends Episode 6, Part 2, aka Avatar Legends Book 2, Episode 1, Part 2.
So last time
Well,
on
the weird
Avatar.
thing is that we always do Part 1 and Part 2 before and after the break, but the show calls it Part X, Part Y, like Part 1, Part
Right.
2 for the episode numbers. So things get weird.
So when we left, we had just gotten a failed trick to lead these people not actually to the place that they said they were leading to. And as the conversation kind of continues, basically you're just the conversation between Baohu and Tiklag is interrupted by Anka beside her. Beside you, who hasn't kind of left there. And she asks, her voice quiet, but her eyes riveted actually on Satu and kind of an eye out towards Dama. Why are you leading us away from the tracks that show where your people have gone?
I find it best to know who I am dealing with. And the fact that there is a Fire Nation officer in Earth Nation clothing amongst you leads me to believe I do not understand the situation.
The Water Nation party kind of stops for a moment, and T-Clog taps a fingernail against a little dimple thing or whatever on his waist, and Pana immediately mid-conversation breaks away from Dama Lee and comes on back. And basically, T-Clog replies we came to offer our support against the Fire Nation. As far as we know, there are none in our group. And kind of backing off, looking between you and the Earth Nation refugees behind, what?
So I'll just look over at the Earth Nation refugees and say, Bato, come here.
So Bato and Miss Siri do step forward, looking, somewhat sheepish and abashed, at least in Bato's case. Misery looks very serious, but that's not terribly out of character with what you know of her. That's pretty much a basic. He basically steps forward and says, well, I was going to have this conversation on possibly some more private terms. Wasn't exactly expecting to see you here, but and then he kind of turns and addresses himself to Antiquog, saying, we joined your group. You collected a group of refugees fleeing the Fire Nation. That's what we are. We didn't exactly think it was a great idea to float where we came from in these times as we tried to. Sorry we didn't tell. But
I have a suspicion.
And he bows to
Well, hang on, because I basically have the same move.
Oh, okay, yeah, you go for it. It's your guy.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, so I'm going to use cut the garbage. So when you openly confront someone to get the truth, roll with harmony. And say, Bato, last I knew you were in command of a unit for the Fire Lord. Maseri, last I saw you, but I can only say I am sorry. What brings you here?
As he said, we left the Fire Nation.
But why? You had respect, honor, a place amongst them.
Respect. After what you did, we had no honor left. Not after you dragged our name through the mud.
I regret that my absence has cast you in a bad light. You do not know what led to these decisions. You had no choice.
Well, now we've made the same one, so thank.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll. Out of 10.
Nice.
Great.
I know my brother fairly well. Is he lying to me?
There's more to the story.
So everything he said is true, but it's not the whole truth.
He's like holding back something.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I will save the other one
Okay.
and say, my apologies. What was his name again? Antiklak. My apologies for the deception. As you can see, there's some history here. And where we go, none can know how to get there. Safety being what it is.
I do see that there is some history. Would you care to explain it so the rest of us are aware of what terms you're on?
This is my brother, and a woman I once held very dear. If you will grant me some leeway in divulging the particulars of our relationship. It is a family affair.
I see that it is. But if this family affair is preventing us from getting where we need to go, I would like to ask that it is settled. Bring us to Duofay, or wherever.
Now that we know you are not bringing active Fire Nation military with you, more than happy to bring you to the Warlord.
He nods and kind of glances over his shoulder at the other two, just doing a quick double check with the bodyguard. And you can see that Panna gives just a little nod of the head as he kind of assesses you. And the girl has her eyes closed, which is a little bit weird given the situation, but yeah.
She's feeling through the force.
And so Antiqua kind of gestures, okay, then let's go the right way. Lead on, essentially.
This way, as I point in the right direction, whatever that direction is.
So I think Batu and Misiri will kind of hesitate for a little while, kind of a little bit separate from the Earth Nation group, which is now not exactly willing to put them back in the middle of that huddle. But at the same time, they're not walking up next to you. So they're walking a little bit to the side and away, but they have not
Oh, I'm
stopped.
going to force that issue. But
Yeah, figured.
yeah, so as we're walking back to Tree Fay, yeah, I'll drop back close enough to them to not be infringing on their space, I guess. I don't want to make them like uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some very pointed looks to Miseri. And I think you can see on Sato's face there's a lot of shame and regret there. And he says, and he looks at her and says, I never meant for my disappearance to affect you. I knew it would fall on my family, but I did not know it would weigh so heavily.
She partially ignores what you said and replies with what doesn't seem very connected on the "You owe us congratulations, by the way. Your brother, Batu, here, is my new husband."
There's like a long pause. Not exactly a tear, but like you can see he's like choking it back a little bit. And he says, "You will find no other man to honor you as much as he will. My congratulations to you both."
She kind of nods stiffly and just looks in the other direction. And Batu kind of, after the awkwardness, hangs in the air for a little bit, is kind of like, so, how's life outside the Fire Nation been going? Any tips? Or
Well, I
you seem to
can
have done fairly well for yourself.
only very recently. The inside of a Fire Nation prison is no better than it was the last you saw one.
I mean, I can't see I've spent much time around the inside, but... And he kind of makes a poor attempt at a laugh and joke. But you got out, right? So he's just trying to make conversation. How do you do that? What can we expect ahead of us?
If your journey is anything like mine, which I hope it was not, hardship. It is not an easy life outside of the Fire Nation, not for one such as us.
Not
They have
exactly.
alienated many people.
Well, if it's important, you've got to do what you've got to do.
I
Sorry.
have recently begun wondering what actually is important. Come,
Well, I can tell you
I'll
one
show you where we live, give you a place to stay, a meal. The past, well, hopefully I can make up for some of it.
You may be unsure what's important anymore, but I thank you for the place to stay, and I can tell you one thing. Family. Family is... It is everything. So thank you. And he kind of claps you on the shoulder. Miss Siri still isn't looking at you, though.
Fair.
And you'll either walk along in silence or, how is that you don't know anyone who's been around lately? Let me catch you up on these people, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Quiva continues to follow as stealthily as she's able to, and she's a quiet person, but she's an archer, and that's not the same thing as a ranger, even if D&D would have us believe otherwise. So she
I
has
think
not been
there's a
able to hear anything that's been going on. She's been like trying to watch and see like, okay, something happened, but I can't tell what.
I think there's probably a hand signal, like some all clear sign that he shoots you.
A thumbs up.
Okay. I think she's gonna go actually hunt then for food, since that is still a need. And so she just like, yeah, steps out for a bit and is gonna go try and find a like
Get an iguana deer.
an iguana deer to shoot with an arrow.
Flaky.
Okay. We have now codified iguana deer, and I'm concerned. But that's fine. How do you even... Never mind.
It's I don't know.
The
All
worst
right.
ones
Oh
are the
no,
chameleon deer. You
I
can't
can
even find them.
visualize it. They're just iguanas that are deer-sized, but with really long legs and antlers
Gross.
and
The entire
antlers.
thing I think about when I
Taste of
think
chicken.
Yep.
is, move really slowly, and then deer, which is not that.
Iguana can move
Iguanas are
quickly.
pretty fast.
It's just that usually they're like, at least the ones that we usually see are so used to people they don't bother to move quickly. But yeah, they can. Either way, yeah, she goes off and does that. I don't know if that needs to be a scene or anything. I guess I could be relying. I don't have wilderness training, and while I know how to archery, hunting is a lot more than archery. So I think I'm actually pushing my luck and not relying on skills and training.
If you want to make a roll, absolutely. If you fail it, I'll make something bad happen.
I don't want to make a roll. I am saying I can if it makes sense, and it feels if you have established that food seems to be and like being able to acquire enough food for all these people seems to be a factor. So I think it feels important enough.
Food is definitely difficult. Lodging's currently more so, but that's just because that's the people get unhappy when they're crowded like next to all of the other people.
Yeah, we're all in a big bunkhouse now or something like that.
But
To
yeah.
start construction. We're basically have an outfitted cave at the moment.
Yeah.
But yes, I would say it's worthwhile doing a roll simply because you are out here scouting for Fire Nation. You found Fire Nation and are now going out on your own,
Okay.
away from
I
everyone
am.
else.
Yeah, that's true.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I am pushing my luck. I am going to spend a fatigue to roll with confidence instead of my passion. I don't think it does anything else. It doesn't actually change my thing, does it? Okay. I just roll with confidence, which is a +1. There's no button for that, so I'll just manually roll. That's a 4. Nothing
So
could be
your failure
done.
streak continues.
Yep. Even with a +3, nothing could have been done.
All right. Well, we need something bad.
Yep. So
Oh.
when you push your luck in a risky situation, say you want to do and roll with passion. What I wanted to do was return with food. I'd find a animal and kill it and return with food. But I'd probably find
I have
something
a
else.
horrible idea.
Please give me your horrible idea.
So when I was looking up avatar animals,
Oh no! Do we find
one of the ones that is in the Earth Kingdom, that is specifically says in the mountains is a goat gorilla, which is what King Boomy had. His
Oh,
one of those.
Fluffy? Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
That's a goat gorilla, not a bunny. Flopsy?
It's called a goat gorilla. Yeah.
It had
Flopsy
horns.
is a goat gorilla. Okay. Then.
Rabbits don't have horns.
So yeah, I'm not going to try and make you fight a goat gorilla because, as we were discussing off stream, there is no way in this book to actually
Oh, but you mean
stat out
yeah,
anything
fight. Yeah, no.
But in your travels, you don't find your iguana deer. You do find instead a happily situated and discover that just outside your doorstep is a pack family unit of goat gorilla who claim this as their territory.
Mm.
They very much tend to be very territorial, and you understand that it is going to be a whole lot harder to be able to find the food that you're going to need for 1,000 people if you're going to have to be fighting these off for it, and taking them down is not going to be easy. They usually stay in like family units of about 5 or so, but usually there's an extended family around that, and so there will be little pockets of 5 or so goat gorillas.
Oh, so there's an
scattered
infestation.
all around.
Infestation of goat
There's
gorilla.
They have a cave
infestation.
network.
Yeah.
It's not an infestation. They just live here. You
Yes.
don't go somewhere and be like, man, this ocean sure is infested with fish.
Yep. Okay,
there's the
there's a
wiki page
difference
for it.
between bold and stupid. So Quiwa is going to go back for help, and then she's going to say we should go fight them as a group.
Now, I will say, in the wiki pages is they are hostile toward intruders who trespass into their territory and do not hesitate in attacking those they identify as threats. However, they are also relatively docile in captivity, so they can be tamed.
I don't
Pack
think
animals.
Quiwa would know that without.
Animals.
She is trained
We
in.
only ever saw these at the zoo.
She's not
What
trained in
the-
wilderness. She wouldn't know this.
We have someone who is trained in wilderness.
But
I
yeah,
think.
she's gonna go back, to the group, and as she like walks into and joins the group, like she jogs, to join the rest of everyone because you guys were walking while she was out hunting.
Who's trained in wilderness?
I thought it was you.
Aeon was.
Oh, Aeon was.
Yeah, it was Aeon.
I'm trained in outlaw.
None of us are trained in wilderness. Okay, perfect. Kill them all then. We don't know how to tame these guys. I say, we have a problem, and I relay my findings to everyone, like everyone who's listening. It's not necessarily. I'm obviously talking to the other PCs, but it's not secret. And I say,
Are they
In
delicious?
particular, because your PCs are kind of spread at the moment, but
I don't know.
My
You
intent-
call a huddle up.
my intent
know.
is to just get a hunting party. Like we saw some other benders before, that were pretty good, like good enough that I would say they can join us if they want to. And also, I wouldn't know about the other fire. I don't know if they're fire benders, but Fire Nation soldiers with us. Sato might know that they can probably help us out. But either way, yeah, Quibo is gonna sort of call everyone together and say we have a problem. If these, I explain what I saw, and I say if any of these creatures, if they run across us, they will charge, and it will be a stampede. We need to strike first.
We have.
Are they delicious?
Yes, she says, without having any actual idea.
We cannot risk a confrontation that we do not have control over. Not with an ambassador. We need all the friends we can get right now.
Nothing's off about killing a whole family. That seems rude.
They would do the same to us if they see us.
Then maybe we shouldn't have broken into their house.
It's a mountain.
We need the
Yeah.
food, and there's a bunch of large animals nearby. Do you have another solution? She says,
Potatoes.
very kind of getting a bit cold towards Dominique.
Potatoes.
Do you have any solution that
What
will
are
allow us to eat within the
potatoes?
next month?
I point towards the waterbender ambassador who wants to make us look good, who wants to make himself look good.
Mm.
Someone's looking for a wife.
Excuse you?
Well, so the
I'm not saying it has
situation-
to be you. I'm just saying someone is looking for a wife.
The
and can stand
situation.
a bunch of eel. I don't know what they eat up there, but a bunch of
Fish?
yams, potatoes, sea cucumbers. They can send something.
Hold on, I gotta yell at my cat.
Hold us over till the
You
potatoes
want
come
our
in.
hidden village to start making regular trades to the water tribe.
Not a
The
trade.
Water Tribe wants to have an alliance. I think specifically this guy's family. And last he heard, Duofei was over there, and now it's here. He doesn't necessarily need a marriage. He just needs to look good.
None
To
of
his
that is
family?
relevant to this immediate situation, which
He
is
can send
we need
this
food.
love-struck dummy can send food.
I don't think that'll get here in time.
We can try harder then. That's a good plan.
This is us trying harder. See,
We're not. Why? We don't need to kill all the animals that live here.
Not all of them, just the tasty ones.
You
We
think
know where
ghost
they are.
gorillas are tasty.
We know where they are. Let us tell the warlord what we know. Get these people back safely. We can always come back.
Yeah, I think I got some chips on my cot. So
I think. Do you want to call out Quiwa to live up to her loyalty?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think that would fit really well. She's right now full on in
Probably bad at
confident.
that.
She's full on in her other principle, confidence mode.
You roll with balance. Not yeah.
Well, you roll with what the principal's at, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, so shift your own balance away from center, and then name and roll with their principle. So my current principle for loyalty is at a -1.
Sweet.
She is not feeling very loyal right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna shift toward humility. Discretion being the better part of valor.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then roll at a -1. Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
That sounds fun.
Help is still a thing if others want to help.
Mhm.
That's a 6.
So what are you wanting her to do? Because Bao might want to help in this endeavor.
Not directly
Like-
attack the murderous goat beasts
yeah.
of the mountains.
Basically, she wants to come back with a bunch of food so she can be like, yeah, we brought back a bunch of food. And people.
Whereas Sato's like, let's come back with a bunch of hunting party.
Yeah.
And not take these guys on with a bunch of innocent bystanders with us.
I agree with Sato here. I will help.
Okay, perfect. So on a 7 to 9, I challenge Sato's view of the world in turn. Mark 1 fatigue, or they shift your balance as they choose. Okay, yeah. So I think, so I will go along with it because I can see no one else is up for this. But I think, what are your two principles?
Experience and humility.
Perfect. So I think she is going to say I thought this wouldn't be a problem for someone with a background and breadth of experience that you do. They're dangerous animals, but they are just animals, and we have the element of surprise. But I see that she like hesitates before she just says, I guess I overestimated you. She's gonna push. She's pushing you more. She's pushing you more towards humility even further.
Sweet.
Do you know how many goat gorillas you have to kill to feed 1,000 people for one meal? You
Not
gotta
a
kill
lot, they're
More
big.
than 0.
Okay,
You
I
gotta
think
kill like 300 of them. You have to
See-
wipe them off the mountain to feed
This
everyone.
is why we
goat
set up the
gorilla.
goat gorilla breeding program where we have them make our food.
Well, the issue isn't just them. The issue, as Marissa said to me, was that they are also predators, which means prey animals are being fed on by them. I
Are
thought
they-
that was my understanding.
If I'm remembering right, they definitely had the teeth for it, so I'm gonna go with.
Oh yeah,
yes.
they have like big sharp
I mean,
teeth.
Goats and gorillas are both herbivores.
Yes, but the
Yeah.
cartoon shows them having big sharp teeth, I believe.
I mean, gorillas
while
are
both
tusks.
goat and gorilla are herbivore, the goat gorilla is not, as it is
What?
known to eat
Oh.
lop-eared rabbits.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. Never mind. I stand corrected.
Yep. So I guess that's
Two-
we've set
two
precedence now
herbivores
that
do
the
make a
combination
carnivore.
the combination of two animals does not necessarily have the traits of either animal.
But in response to the dig, I think Sato looks and says, "It is not my skill or my cunning that I doubt. It is," and he points to the 30 people, 23 people, the people we just rescued, and the important person that your father would need to have a discussion with. You see, when adults do things, they take into account other people.
I think Quill crosses her arms in a very unadult, unmature fashion, but then says, "Fine. I guess you'll be the one to explain to them why they're going to have a lot less food, our people, because of these newcomers.
It
We
will
can
all
always
work
just
out
eat
in
the
the end.
newcomers.
Wait, what?
That was a joke.
Apparently, your bodyguard is a cannibal.
Well, this is the Donner Pass.
Um,
That took a dark turn. Late autumn, you said? We're fucked.
No, we could just make fire.
that's
Can't eat
fair.
fire.
It's not the
eat
fire.
fire.
Yeah, it's the growing food part that's hard in winter. Either way, yeah, no, Quiwa will like mentally try to memorize where she saw those creatures, which is not going to be that easy given that she has no wilderness background. But she'll try, and she'll go with you guys as we continue on. I assume she'll probably like get caught up on the social dynamics that were uncovered.
hmm
Yeah, I'm gonna drop back to the waterbenders and explain to them what's going on. There's some dangerous wildlife going around here, so head on a swivel, folks.
Yep.
I think they were close enough to mostly hear that, but are glad of being actually directly informed, and their heads don't swivel much. With the
Are
exception
they
of
robots? If they're robots, I'm upset.
robust and Avatar.
Waterbot. Boop, boop.
Water
So
I
waterbending
there's
got
no-
bored.
robots.
I didn't have a suit anymore, so there was no robust mechanics. So I figured
There will be mechs of any type. I don't care.
Yep.
This
Turns
is
out the
Avatar
the gorilla goats are also mechs.
Avatar the Last Westworld.
I will clarify. You saw at least 2 of them waterbending, or one of them. At least one of them.
So they're a new prototype. I see.
Mm.
We've seen squirt guns before.
Aeon has one.
Yeah.
Aeon just attached a taser to their squirt gun.
Okay. I feel good to go back and reach home.
hmm
Unless there's any other eventful items on the way, I'm good to. Yes, you reach home. Is there anything you want to do to direct people? Are you bringing everyone there? How you're separating people out, etc.
Yeah, I think
Um,
we dropped most of them in the town square. And
I-
we
The
take
cave
the
square?
3
Yeah.
waterbenders
I think Quiwa
to...
like calls out a safe like code word that's like, "Hey, we're coming in. Secret hidden guards even though this place looks abandoned from the outside. We're cool."
It's a bird call. It's I'm a
Uh,
bird. I'm a bird.
I don't once again, I don't have wilderness training. That's not a thing.
I think to some degree, yes, secret hidden guards, but there are a lot of people, lounging around outside in plain
Oh,
sight.
so everyone's doing a
Like,
terrible job at hiding.
Absolutely.
Well, the hiding's on the
people are
mountain.
not really hiding types, and inside a dark cave permanently is not a great place to be when you're shoulder to shoulder with the
Well,
next family.
How about this for a narrative starting point? There's a tight pass that opens up to the area with the cave. There's a couple guards on either side of the tight pass that we need to signal to be let through.
That works. I don't know if it's immediate, but I think after we drop off sort of the I almost said prisoners, but that's not actually true. our new guests.
Yeah, the guests.
the future prisoners.
Yes.
Um,
I leave it to Bao. I think we was still kind of preoccupied with the animals. She's gonna go off on her own and go visit wherever wherever Aeon is. She's gonna go visit him.
okay. Can I again ask for a more specific? How are you sorting these people? Basically, we've got 3 groups. We've got Earth, Fire, Water. Tell me where they're going.
Earth goes with Earth. Fire.
We have to keep the nation separate even
I'll
now.
handle that.
Yep. Fire goes with the fire. And water will go to the warlord and Bow will follow.
I
Are
mean,
there
they
many
don't-
other fire people here? I assume Is Sato
know.
literally our only other
No.
Fire Nation person?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's Sato and
and his brother
Dama.
Well, I meant before
Yeah.
they got here. Was Sato the
Yeah.
only Fire Nation
Oh.
person? And
At least the only known one that is commonly known. There might be, some
yeah,
other people doing the same sort of thing as, yes, I defected.
but they're keeping their
and-
head down.
Yeah, exactly. I won't rule it out. Okay, you said you wanted to go and talk to me. Okay.
I don't have to do that immediately if anyone else wants to do stuff first. But
Sato's plan is to bring his brother and ex to Min.
Mm.
Okay.
Actually, I had a question about Min.
Mhm.
She's an eligible bachelorette, is she not?
She is absolutely the eligible bachelorette that was expected.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Kiwi.
As far as as far as news travels, Kliwa was gone, married
yeah,
off to
I'm
another
already married. Thank you very
Mm,
much.
He is
Excellent.
not kind of aware who she is yet, and she keeps running off on me. Thank you.
Yep. she's the bold. She ain't gonna stop. She's just gonna be like exhausting herself running
She's
around
looking
doing
for that
stuff.
new outfit. That's
Yeah.
what she's doing.
We need to upgrade the town enough so I can unlock the tailoring building, and then we build a tailor building. That's how it's gonna work.
Mm.
Absolutely. Okay,
First, we
so,
need bunkhouse level 1, though.
Yep.
Okay, so we have Sato going off to Min. We have Bao Hu heading with the people to Kliang, and we have Damali doing.
Something asinine. I
Okay.
think I want to undermine. This is a kind of a fire round table thing, like around a small cook fire or whatever, with some of the new food vendors we got in, and some of the old, like the baker or whatever.
So you're taking the Earth Nation people, introducing all the different vendors, and saying, "Hey,
Kind
we
of,
gotta
kind
have
of, sort of, but at some point throughout the day, with the influx of new specific food vendor people, I would like to have a brainstorming session about how we could address the food situation that does not involve hunting gorilla goats to extinction.
Extinction's a
Absolutely.
large word.
I'm trying to look for a balanced and a harmonious mix with the
You want
forest.
a stable ecosystem.
Just
For
so
every
luck to be
tree we cut
saddled by
down,
the
we
fire
plant two.
druid.
All right.
Yeah.
That one seems easy to wrap up unless it goes horribly wrong. So let's
They go,
jinx myself and
I would like
you
to
fail,
eat
they
the-
just go, yeah, we should hunt them to extinction. That's what we should
Yeah,
do.
so you just start to panic, and they're like, "Oh no, not them! My father was
What, you
killed
mean
by
they're-
a gorilla goat."
They're big, they have a lot of muscle, and they might kill us? Well, let's kill them first and eat them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might start an angry
Are they
riot.
fluffy?
I need a new
No,
coat.
They're definitely not fluffy.
so yeah, we've got you've got three ways to kind of get an NPC to do a thing you want. In this case, find other ways. Intimidate, plead, trick, or I wouldn't feel too bad about push your luck or relies on skills and training if you prefer.
I got all the moves.
Yeah. This depends how you go about it.
Yeah. We're going about it with pierogies. I'm going to introduce them to root vegetables native to the region
Okay.
in the form of pierogies.
I absolutely will subsist on pierogies.
And I would like to, so the food vendors who are moving in have a new product they can set up and start marketing immediately. Also, fixing the food problem.
You want to fix the food problem by conjuring pierogies?
No, by teaching all of these food service professionals how to make pierogies with the local root vegetables of this mountain.
That's a... Okay.
We've been here for a minute. I've been experimenting. with pierogies mostly, because I don't like the gruel we've been eating.
That's a big local root vegetables is a big jump there.
I don't know what they have on this mountain.
There's probably some sort of root
There's
vegetable.
wild
How
pierogi
hard-
plants. What do you?
Yeah, we picked them from the
Root
pierogi
vegetables-
tree.
Root vegetables are common in most places.
Do you have skills in training here, or are you looking to push your luck or
It's a plea.
plead with them not to?
I don't think the
I don't think
outlaw
this is
background
plea.
gives you skills or training here,
No, not
unless you are the pierogi bandit.
The pierogi pilfer.
yeah. We'll just go steal our pierogies from the nearby villages.
I'm going for plead. For support in fixing our budding city's food problem.
Absolutely, I think that's reasonable. Give it a roll.
Yeah.
And that's with harmony.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh.
Well,
The root vegetables may or may not be toxic.
Yeah, I was thinking that was my idea too. Look, it's fine. Have you eaten it before? No, but it looks fine.
Yes. I don't know what I'm doing, as it turns out.
Turns out the pierogi was the worst choice because the only thing to make the shell of it with is a binary toxin with the root vegetable you're putting in it. So eating those two things together will just kill you.
I don't think we're at the level of
No,
sudden
but
death where everyone
stomach
was
aches maybe for everyone.
I think
Now,
the
you find a
tacos,
couple hours later, like a lot of people
they all
are
get food
running for
poisoning.
them
Everyone there got food.
out of
Right.
doors. You have lost a fair amount of credibility with these people. You're going to have trouble pushing any suggestions. with
Now
them.
you can use your outlaw background to frame the guy for cooking it wrong.
Now you can do that.
I'm no longer sure that they care what you think in future.
I'm yeah.
Not all died, but
Maybe
actually, I wouldn't say any of them died. Just
They
had
just
a
wish
really
they
very
bad-
very bad day or two. Okay. I think now
Yeah,
we'll
they
go
all have the green anime. They're like animated now. They're like green.
I'll go
Yeah,
see
absolutely.
Aeon,
Let's
I
jump back
think.
to. Go ahead.
So I think Marissa, where do I find Aeon? As he
Not in
is no
prison.
longer a PC.
Sorry.
He's a
Aeon
Mac.
does have a workshop. He was let out of those handcuffs. Basically, he is tinkering away with something, as you often see. He's kind of been focusing on a bunch of different projects of how can we fix this thing? How can we help this thing? With the mindset of, yeah, so we need more space. Not all of us are earthbenders. How do the rest of us contribute something that is useful? So there's a lot of working with other people who want to help in that way, and a lot of kind of on a side project, I guess a secret side project, but not terribly secret. Basically, the suit is slowly getting some
Yeah.
reincarnation.
There's a pair of like foot like boots or something that could fit
Yeah.
a much larger creature.
It's not like a suspicious thing. It's a matter of he will tell you about it if people ask about it in general, but he's not putting it in the middle of display because there are more important things to be doing with that. He's just
Speaking
trying to
of, Quiwa walks in, and her first words to Aeon are, Aeon, can you make traps for very large, muscular creatures?
Yeah, pretty easily. Why'd you want them for?
We found some nearby, and traps seem like a good way to deal with them safely. How fast can you make about a dozen?
What exactly are you intending to trap in these?
Gorilla
What did you
goats.
find?
An infestation of them, she says. They're all over the mountain.
That's just the collective noun.
Yep, they're all over the mountain, she says. And, They're
would
dangerous.
make sense. That's where they live, and you want to trap them. Why?
Because they will attack anyone nearby.
Not unless you bother them.
So, quick question for Marissa, actually. Do we live in their territory? Because I thought we did. We basically, our entire town lives in their territory.
You live in a cave, but yeah, your entire town's in their territory.
Yeah, okay. So I was just double checking before I say, like, yeah, but if they come across our she closes her eyes and pauses and then forces herself to say Trio Fey.
There was a vote about it.
Yeah.
You were not on the winning side.
No, I'm pretty sure Aeon suggested the name and it somehow stuck. But she says they will probably attack. We can't risk that. And the food. She admits that it definitely wasn't the first reason.
I mean, they could attack, yes, that makes some level of sense, but where exactly did you say you found them?
She says roughly where she found them. Yeah.
I mean, we're the ones who came to their home. That's not right.
Maybe, but this is going to be our home for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to defend it.
How many traps did you want?
About a dozen. There was a group of 5 I saw, but I think there are more around.
If you saw a group of 5, you're going to need more than a dozen. Oh, wait,
I mean, we
is
can
there room
reuse
for
them,
this?
she says. Wait, I don't know. You're the one building them. Can we reuse them?
Probably. I'm gonna go with. I mean, yeah, I can make you the traps. We can do this. But if we're gonna do this, I'm going to need something from you.
Okay. She looks a bit surprised, but listens.
Yeah, sure. Let me figure out what I need from you. Okay. So, I'm not under guard anymore, right? Like, I'm able to do whatever I want. It's fine. You trust me, right?
There's a... Oh... There's a pause, and then
Look,
Quiwa...
I saved you!
You are the... She's trying to, like, find the right words to say, and she says, Aeon, you mean well. But because you let that Fire Nation officer go, they know who I am, and you're kind of the reason we're out in the mountains. She kind of, like, feels bad for saying it, but she's not one to mince words.
Yeah, you see indignation rise up, and he kind of just bites it down before he's actually does anything stupid or says anything stupid.
She continues and says, I trust you to do what you think is right. I won't always agree with it.
If you trust me enough to do what is right, basically what he wants is if you'll give, he will make you the traps, he will help you in whatever way you need with this endeavor. If you'll essentially call off the guards, the extra people watching around the corners, give him actual privacy and freedom once in a while.
Yeah,
which I'm assuming, just going off some assumptions here, was set up
Yeah,
by
that
certain
fits.
suspicious party members who were
Listen,
me out of handcuffs.
listen. Baohu clearly stated you are on strike too. I don't know if he set up any particular guards on you. Some other people might also be like,
My
yo,
dad might
Aeon's
have,
on
yeah.
strike too. Right? But I don't think Bao personally
other
went, you gotta watch this kid. But
I
Bao
will.
is like, I'm gonna watch you.
Yeah.
Unless you have been spreading around the tails of your party member. But okay.
But I think that's exactly what she says is, I'll talk to my father about this, but I can't make any promises for Bao.
Strike two.
Don't talk to your father, then talk to Bao.
Okay. I will. But I can't make him do anything. He's my bodyguard, not my servant. Just a heads up.
I mean, I'd be a little concerned if you did see him as your servant at this point. He kind of looks at you funny.
Yes, but I'm just saying that I'll talk to him. But he's I mean, our people are known for our stubbornness, and he's consistent with that. She says,
Look.
blind to her own stubbornness.
Look, we're a group, and we should stay as a group. This kind of mistrust between us isn't good. Talk to him. And he's pushing at your, I think it's loyalty? Do you have? Or am I
Yeah.
at the wrong?
Nope, loyalty is right.
He's pushing you towards loyalty.
And then now that he's an NPC, it just I think I can roll to resist it.
Yep. I can't use the move call someone out, so I just, am
Yeah,
calling
you just
people
do it.
and
Yeah,
trying to
you don't have to roll to do it. You just do.
Yep.
And I can deny it if I want to. I don't think I'm going to deny it. I think I will get shifted towards loyalty.
All right.
And then I say, I'll talk to him. But speaking of loyal, did you actually use the word loyalty, right? Or did you not?
I did use the word.
Yeah, speaking of loyalty, and if we are a team, we need to make decisions together. So keep that in mind next time you want to release a prisoner that we might have issues with. Then she's gonna go off and do something on her own without consulting the team, but whatever, it's fine. She nods and leaves.
And Aeon will, promise you your traps and have those ready.
She'll pick them up tomorrow because she just assumes it'll be ready tomorrow, even though that's probably insane.
Right. Great. Sure, I'll have something.
Yeah, because a child can make 12 bear traps in 8 hours.
I don't know.
With
I'm
no
not a child.
forge.
I'm the same age as Quiwa, thank you very much. Anyhow, I just don't act it.
Yeah, okay, so she heads
Anyway.
off.
I'm going to pause for a moment while I get something to make it so I don't got on screen for 50 minutes. One moment here. Mind picking who we're going to next as I pause?
I think me?
Yeah, if you're doing a thing.
Yeah, I was going to do the talk with the waterbender and your dad.
Well, I'm going to see Min, so we might want to do that first because she might be called into that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true.
Bad my pierogi plan failed.
I'm
We
sorry.
gotta hunt goat
Guys, we're not in your
gorillas
favor.
now.
Yep.
Yes, goat cheese pierogies.
So I wonder if we can tame them. Can we tame them to bring us food?
They are pretty smart.
They are
I mean,
quite
you asked
smart.
me to trap them.
No, yeah, no, we're not actually going to do that, at least unless someone who is not Quiwa suggests it.
I mean, if anyone had asked me.
If we get
Yeah.
we get enough XP, there is a move one of us can take that is you have an animal companion and it could just be a goat gorilla.
That is Quiwa's, and I think one of her, things, isn't it to fight an animal or be
One of my
hunted?
things, yeah, but I haven't chosen it yet, so I don't actually want to fight it yet. I need to wait until I do something else, and then I'll choose fight a dangerous animal. But I do have, just a heads up, defend an inhabited place from dire threats. This is a very dire threat, and if it isn't, I'll cause a stampede. Then it will be.
I'll
Not a
make it a
dire
dire threat.
threat.
What, it isn't dangerous enough to qualify? Well, I'll light it on fire.
Great. I'm glad we got that sorted out with priorities.
My
So where are
goal
we
is to accomplish the bold thing. I'm going to accomplish my goals by any means necessary.
But we've already been here for a little bit, and we're not fighting off goat gorilla attacks every other day.
Not every other day, no. You
You just saw
actually
them in the woods, and you're
Yeah.
like, "This is the enemy."
I think we're going to Sato with Min and the firebenders.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, also, I need to. There's your camera back, because that's how OBS is working. I forgot I need to
So
reselect
Min,
the right window for it to work.
so Min is obviously one of the few halves in this situation. They have definitely not a nice place, but she does have like there's a door. There's a room behind the door. Maybe even two rooms, sort of, because she's as high as you can get with royalty, whereas most people are literally out in the corridor. So you can get some level of privacy in this place. Whether or not the entirety of the group is currently staying with Min, you probably all qualify as high ranked enough to some degree. You have a also room of your own as long as you're staying as a group there. But enjoy it, Tabs. Sorry.
It's not single person room for us, I don't
No.
think.
We're
Nope.
we're star-bellied stages. Uh, so yeah, I'll go up and knock on Min's door. Are there like guards? Is that are we doing that kind of thing, or?
We still have guards. It's a little bit minimal, but there is like a person outside of her door right now.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Frank.
Yeah, I probably know them by name by now, because that's the kind of guy Sato is. So he'll just greet them as he comes up.
Absolutely. I don't know how you knock on a
Knock
cave
on like the
wall.
wall next to it, and it'll echo.
It's a
However
hammer. You
that
just bang.
however that works. Min basically herself comes to the door and uh yeah, you see behind her there's two kind of kids about I think they're 10ish. Um just sitting on the ground there playing some sort of game in the back corner of the room. But yeah, like hello? Oh, hi. Good to see you.
Lady Huyen, I bring news and visitors. And I motion to the two with me.
Well, this house is always, she looks at the very small space, open to visitors, especially those brought by your esteemed group. Come in, come in.
Yeah, so Sato goes in. He introduces his brother and Maseri. Tells Min that they're well.
Okay, keep going.
This is my brother and his wife. Sort of pauses on that for a second, and they. Well, it seems the shame that I brought upon myself has been visited upon them as well. They have come on hard times and are looking for refuge.
I see. And she kind of looks at you and, your brother, that means, and is just kind of trying to get some verification like, oh, so you bought some Fire Nation people right in the middle here. Uh, did ya?
That is why I came to you first. It is only with your permission that I would allow them to stay.
You see Misseri bristle a little bit at that and Batu hand on her arm and but Min is like, I see. Uh, I believe we can find somewhere to accommodate them. So tell me, and she kind of tries to lighten the mood a little bit. How did you come to be here? Uh, what brings you to Duo Tree Fae? And
Is
please,
is she asking that the NPCs or me?
because I can have an NPC conversation. The
This, yeah,
NPC.
that's what happens. You talk to yourself
Hmm.
for
It
5 minutes.
happens. Sometimes you can just summarize it, and sometimes you can play it out depending on what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So she's just kind of checking in with the NPCs, and they basically tell her the same story that they told you. Yeah. Um, things, and they're a lot less. Bato is definitely doing the talking, not Maseri. And so he's kind of in the same comfortable way. Yeah, Fire Nation wasn't so great after, he left and wasn't going too well, so we decided it was a good time to leave, go check out a new city, a new place. But when we got there wasn't really uh, much in the way of a living situation. So when those guys, the Water Nation Alliance people, and she kind of stops them there, like, what? What other
That
ambassadors?
that was the second piece of news. There is an ambassador from the Water Tribe to the north. He has come with a marriage proposal to put to your brother. I suspect not for your brother.
She blinks her eyes a bit. And
It would make things way easier, though.
True.
I mean, technically he's unconnected as well, I guess.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't have to wait for him to die for that guy to be city lord or whatever.
Anyway, as we discuss the marriage prospects, so she kind of blinks a bit and says, "I
Oh, he's
feel
on The
it might."
Bachelor. That's what TV show he's from. There's gonna be a bunch of people vying for his attention, and we have
Did
to
you
wait
say
and
that
see who he
they're meeting
proposes
right
marriage to at the end.
Will you accept this ice rose?
I didn't know your father had beard scruff and a high and tight haircut.
now? Right. So she kind of takes that in, and she continues with the gracious hostess act, but also is along the lines of, "Yeah, I should probably. You say they're meeting right now. I should be at that meeting. Thanks. Can we? Uh, and she's trying to decide whether or not to actually bring the two Fire Nation people into the meeting with the speed that she needs to get there, and then decides that that's really not a good idea. She calls the guard at the door basically and says, "Hey, can you escort them to this newly opened small bedroom thing?
Yeah.
Uh, and make sure they're comfortable and stay with them and see to it that they are comfortable." And kind of basically uh, sends them on their way, which they do go basically with,
I'll
again,
come and find you
Bato.
after the meeting, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Pardon?
I'll shake Bato's hand and be like, settle yourself in. I will see you soon.
I think Quiwa actually will go to the meeting
Thank
too,
you, and
but
gives you a hug.
she's gonna try and like slip into the back and not mostly observe it.
But yeah, he thanks you and gives you a hug and basically is like, "It's good to see you again." And as far as you can tell, it's genuine. Um, but yeah. Uh, so Min is going to walk you over to the meeting and grill you on any particulars that she needs to know about before she gets there. Like, okay, this is a high level thing going on. I'm kind of the right hand woman of your dad, so please enlighten me.
So the download he'll give her is this water nation guy, the ambassador, Antique Look, I think was his name, something.
Close enough.
Um, he's used to being in charge and expects to be. And, they're just, he seems to be some kind of high noble that gets what he wants, and leave it at that.
Okay. Well, that'll bring her into the meeting with certain thoughts.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, it will.
Then I guess let's jump on over to the meeting, which at least some of it happened before other participants came in. And please let me know when you think your other participants would like to arrive or slip in both cases. All 4 of you are at a level at this point through your association with Quiwa that you could come on in without any notice. But yes, please give me a basic description of what's happening with you and the ambassadors then, Baho, as we head towards places.
I think Bao will go in first and announce like a normal bodyguard would do, from the Northern Water Tribe, Antinoch ambassador come to talk to you, blah 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 blah, da 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 da, and then just throw rice or whatever.
Hey, we need that to eat.
Yeah.
This is the ceremonial rice. It's not meant to be
Oh,
eaten.
it's already gone bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's been in the family for 10,000 years.
Covered in ergot.
We pick it up after every time it gets thrown, and then we rethrow it.
Mm-hmm. That's where we get the crocodile elephants.
I'm very confused, but okay. Sorry, no.
They use their trunks to vacuum it up.
It's a living.
Them?
Yeah, don't think about it for your own sanity.
Righty. So Quiwa's dad, whose name I still can't pronounce, Quiang, I think?
Keon.
Keong.
Thank you. Is kind of thrown off guard. He wasn't exactly expecting anything of this, but he pulls himself together pretty quickly and is nice to meet you. Well done. Glad to see you. What brings you here? Type thing.
Time for you to have a conversation with yourself.
And Antiqua kind of reiterates again what he told you guys. The entire story all over again. He's spending a lot of time kind of making out yes, I come from this family and do this thing, and comes out
We're
that
5th in line for the throne.
Sure, 5th in line for the throne, but also that's below, his 2 older brothers. Let's go with 7th in line for the throne.
Okay.
Below his 2 older brothers and somewhat, and a matter of when we understand. I was sent to do a fey to make a alliance with the prominent warlord Qiang Qian, who they said had dominated his village he will say village of Duofei and some of the surrounding land, as we had thought it would be a promising alliance that might bring some levels of prosperous economics and trade between our 2 peoples. Though it seems that your circumstances have changed since this information reached us. Can you tell us more about what on earth is going on without those words at the end?
What's in the 4 kingdoms?
Well, the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah.
And then everything changed.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the wrong shirt. Anyhow, yeah, no, so Qiang is yes, I still absolutely am this military and economic and warlord and don't you worry, this is temporary. We're gonna be back on our feet in like minutes. Don't even expect it.
6 months tops.
Yeah, we are a strong people who can endure anything. Kind of speech.
One
I'm
of my
guessing.
top advisors has a plan for a ski chalet.
Yep, he tells me it's very, very lucrative. First of its
I don't
kind.
know why I'm listening to a teenager about business propositions, but you
Well,
know.
he is. We know he has a history of poor choices in advisors. So
But yes, he kind of does a lot to basically say, no, we're doing fine. Absolutely, we'll do this alliance. Alliances are great. We definitely don't need your help because we can do it all on our own. But also, yes,
I think Bao is like behind the procession and going like, do think, roll it back, right? Like,
look, if all my characters are a little bit desperate.
it's fine.
No, so I think at that
more
point,
defensible position. This is why we're here. It's more defensible from the
It's
Fire
our
Nation.
Helm's Deep. It's totally our Helm's Deep.
Yeah, we always come here in the winter. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's our getaway.
Speaking of chateaus, this was always the plan.
we just came with a very large population in order to make our new chateau fit better
It's
in a
a
fast.
field test to make sure it can house this many people because we
Stress
expect
test.
it to be that busy and that popular.
We're expecting the fire marshal tomorrow.
Not the Fire Marshal. No, the Earth Marshal. The Earth Marshal.
Yes. I think that NT Cloud talks a little bit more, and it becomes slowly apparent that he's good with an alliance, but also he wants some level of power in this arrangement. And your dad definitely backs off on that, saying, well,
I'm the boss.
exactly. And
How would you like to be third in line for the throne?
what do you mean I didn't stat him at all? Why? Okay. But yeah. So the negotiations, there aren't any direct negotiations, and there definitely aren't any actual decisions being made.
Yeah, this is very preliminary.
Yes. But it is made clear that, hey, I'm looking to seal this with a marriage. I am intending to come away with some blood ties and some intentional, hey, look, we are a part of this. And also, there's a feeling of, you're going to have to convince me that this is actually worth it, or at least that's what's being portrayed.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think Bao, because Bao is under the assumption that he was wanting to marry Yen and not the ants. So he's gonna be like, "Oh, there's more than one way to like in the Earth Kingdom.
There's
We
more
have
than one
multiple
way
ways."
to crush a rock, to shatter a rock.
Yeah, there's more than one way to crush a rock.
Wait, isn't there also don't you also have a sister?
Me? No.
Yeah. No.
I have a friend, but I'm pretty sure she is not a literal sister.
I think at some point in the conversation, at least after the marriage idea is breached, like, not because the marriage idea was breached, but you are mentioned, and it is made aware that he did not know you were here at all, or
Oh,
not with
yeah.
Fire Nation.
I'm doing this, and no one's noticing who actually matters. Just the people
Oh,
next.
you mean there's two?
Ooh, I have my choice. Yeah, I think this is what Bao finally notices. Hugh's right next to him. He goes, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, and she's like, "It's an important meeting. Of course I'm here."
I'm quite happy to have this conversation play out. It means I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah, I think if like, do all eyes unexpectedly turn to Quiwa or something?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
She coughs like, mm, and she steps forward, and she says, I think she nods to him and says, Quiwa Hu Yen. We've already met, but it's a pleasure to introduce myself. But her expression is very much like extremely, almost hostilely cautious. Like very not. She's almost glaring at him, but not quite. But she's very yeah, she looks very cautiously at him. Like, I don't really know anything about you right now.
He goes sort of frosty himself and kind of smooths his sleeves out again, and without addressing you, but addressing your dad, basically says, I understood that your daughter was away, strengthening your ties to the Fire Nation.
I speak up before my father does, trying to make him speak to me now that I'm here. And she says, a Fire Nation fabrication designed to weaken us. It failed.
I see. Well, then I am glad that you are present.
Eligible? I feel like this dude would say eligible.
Yeah, he might not even
No,
mean
he's
to, it
not
just
quite-
slips out.
I don't think he's being quite that blatant, but I'm glad that you're here enjoying the time with your family, as that is very important, as I have shown, yes, I have shown by allowing my bodyguard to have his sister along. I don't think that people should be breaking up families, and probably not quite in that tone. But
So, that's fair. While he's talking, what does this guy look like and how old is he?
he is tall.
I have the
very,
kiss
very,
someone
very
dangerous
tall.
thing I can take later, so I need to see, like,
Is he
The-
dangerous?
is he
Does he have a
dangerous?
scar
Ooh,
over
is he
his
tall,
left
dark, and
eye?
handsome?
Does he have black spiky hair?
Ooh.
Yeah, does he have antagonist hair?
Hey, I'm going from Water Nation royalty, so their hair tends to be really long, black, tied behind him in a ponytail, tall. As mentioned, clothes are very, very fine. He's not actually that old. I would put him early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
they're
he
not.
is like, if this was a real
was
relationship,
expecting
it would be
his
inappropriate age difference for a 16-year-old. But
He was
In
expecting
medieval
his
times.
men to
in
be
medieval
much
times,
younger.
especially with nobility stuff, this is downright like generous.
Reasonable?
I mean,
Yeah.
he's not even your cousin, so plus
Yeah.
one there.
Yeah.
His hair isn't even gray yet.
He doesn't have the Habsburg jaw. You're good.
I thought it was the nose. Anyhow, I've been reading too much 1632. Anyhow. But yeah, any other questions? Sorry. Or where were we? I don't remember.
I think at that point, like Min and Sato are probably coming in to the room
Mhm.
by now.
Yeah.
So you
And I
catch the
think
tail
they-
end of I'm glad you're eligible for marriage, princess.
Yeah. And I think she nods again, and says, if I think she's actually going to be very forward in a certain way. I think she's going to say, you just arrived in our. I think she says, you're newly arrived here and must be tired from the trip, but if you would like, I can give you a tour of what little there is here for now after evening supper.
And I think Min comes in at that point before he can accept and basically says, not that it's all so little as that, and he's very much kind of picking up on the party line of, we're strong, we can do it, thank you very much. We're capable in that way, and
But also, if you have a truckload of onions,
We'll take onions.
you'll take them.
the worst vegetable will still take onions.
Mhm.
What's wrong with onions? They're
The Hu Yen are like an onion. They have layers.
Beautiful.
they're a food staple.
A food staple which the Marissa can't
Marissa
stand.
does not like onions.
Mhm.
Anyhow, not that that's mattering here. So yeah, the pleasantries go on a little bit longer, and Min is assigned to basically again find them a place to stay, and she's like, "Great, because we have so many empty rooms, and I just need
Just
nowhere to
earthbend a new
go."
Yeah,
room.
just earthbenders work faster.
And I think that on the way, she was literally telling somebody to go do that.
Go bend a room.
Go, yeah.
Priority one.
Get
the
we'll
room-
get your
Our
rooms
room.
ready. Literally means we're gonna go like create the space out of the rock.
Like, if any of you are going along to the room, I don't know what you're doing, but at least Min is going to escort them. And as they're heading to their room, there's like rubble on the outside of here's the dirt that was inside. Now it's
Mhm.
outside.
Yep. They probably use that to like build fortifications or stuff in the like valley if needed, or just have piles of it.
Or to build anything else in the little settlement here.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, furniture and
At
stuff.
this point, Aeon is kind of done some little organizing of literally bucket chains to get dirt from out of cave, in cave to out of cave, because that's something that can be done. And
Yeah.
he's working on a way of making that more efficient and not need people power.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we see Aeon, I think Bao just goes.
I think Aeon. Yeah, I suspect they've ended up going. Once you enter the cave, the most of the earthbended areas probably try to go like slightly uphill, so you can just like use like firstly it's more defensible, and secondly you can slide things down out of it more easily. But either way, yeah.
Aeon's reaction to you is a sigh, a smile, and moving on. He's trying to be polite and friendly. Thank you. Good graces.
Does he agree to my invitation?
Oh, sorry. To
My
to give
invitation
it tour?
to go on an evening walk together. Would
Yes.
The waterbender?
yeah, I said I'll give him a tour if he'd like of our place tonight after
This
evening
is our
supper.
hovel.
Yes. we
This is the cave where we pee in. This is the cave where we poop in.
Don't mess them up. And always take a torch with you.
I mean, you can usually find it by the smell, but
They probably do that outside.
Now that we
Sure,
have
there's like
waterbenders, we can get plumbing.
I'm sure we had a better system than a poop
we do
cave.
have better systems.
Yeah.
It's
That's
at least a
actually
sluice. Come on.
Not even like hibernating animals do that.
Yeah.
It's not in the cage. It is out of doors. You've
Mm.
made an outhouse or a pit or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just being
Also,
silly.
no avatar happening on screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he will accept your invitation, even though Min tried to cut in to kind of, oh, let's talk about these other things. He did maneuver the conversation back around and say, I would be happy to accept that invitation. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna go with a gracious hand kiss. I don't know.
She allows it.
I think Bao then like peeks around the corner and goes to the waterbender.
Do what?
To,
Oh, to him.
to him.
Ambassador?
Yeah.
Bodyguard's gonna
not.
bodyguard.
I'm watching
Yeah, he does not deign to notice, but the bodyguard just is kind of holding in chuckles.
Oh yeah, because he has his own bodyguard. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah.
guys are gonna bond.
Bodyguard fight.
I was gonna say bodyguard like
No,
best
they're
friends.
going on the date with you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
double
it's
date.
a double date.
Yeah.
They're obligated to.
I've always wanted to go on a date with a brother and a sister.
While watching someone else go on a date.
So as Min escorts the other people out, what are you guys doing? Are you joining with them? Are you going to stick around to talk to Dad?
I will. Yeah, I will
Will what?
stick around to talk with my dad.
Okay.
I also stay because Q is staying.
All right. Let's assume that you guys are staying then. Don't put the party when you don't have to.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, I was gonna do this later, but I'll do this now in front of my dad. I guess it affects both of you. So, in character, Quiwa says, I spoke with Aeon. He he believes that he has, in the last few months we've been here, shown enough proof of his loyalty to earn a reduced guard presence. I happen to agree. She looks between Bao and her dad and doesn't know. She's like talking to both of them. She's
I
With
think
she does
after
not know
you,
what's going to
warlord.
respond. Yeah.
her dad is going to be mostly silent as he notices that you're addressing both of them, and you're on somewhat formal terms with your dad at the moment. I think. Am I right?
Less now because of the conversation we had. I think it's still formal, but Quiwa does feel closer to him than any time we've seen in the campaign because of the conversation at the end of last episode.
But yeah, I think he knows you well enough that he's picking up that if you're asking both of them, um, he's more interested in hearing Baohu's response here.
Um, as I told Aeon before, Aeon's on strike too. I did not put any guards.
No, but you have been watching him yourself.
Yes, that's what being on strike 2 is. Strike 3, I bury him.
Before she responds to you, she looks to check what her dad thinks in of that response.
He is currently watching you mostly to see what you will do.
Okay.
He is trying to yeah, that.
Then Quiwa responds back to Bao and says, she actually repeats what she says to Aeon. Aeon did what he believed to be right at the time. I do not think it was a good idea. Obviously, she gestures around. But I have told him not to take any drastic actions like that without consulting us. If he thinks he believes that we can still be a team, I have told him that being such a thing requires him to not act so rashly. And I think I got through to him. I think he seems to be bothered more by you keeping an eye on him, Bao, than she like than any other guards, I think she says. If you want to trust him again, or give him the opportunity to redeem himself, then that is how. And she's going to call upon you to act on your trust principle.
Oh, okay, so that is you shift your balance and then you roll with my principle.
Yeah, so she's going to shift her balance towards loyalty, obviously.
Mhm.
And I'm going to roll with your principle. What is your current trust?
-1.
Okay. That's a 5.
Mm.
So call someone out.
They can demand you act in accordance with your principles instead.
Mark a condition or act as they request.
um. Okay, so yours is loyalty and confidence. What does that mean specifically?
Confidence in terms of she wants to prove herself and thinks that she is capable of more than she is doing.
Mhm.
And then loyalty to those around her is pretty straightforward. She is right now acting out of loyalty to Aeon. I don't think it's specific. Unlike her last ones, which were a lot more specific, these principles are more general.
Yeah. I think Bao's gonna be pushing on loyalty, but from his view, right? Of basically saying I need to keep an eye on Aeon because he makes bad decisions. Last time I left my eye off of Aeon is the reason we're in this mess.
So it's not that you distrust his intentions, that you distrust his judgment.
Just trust his judgment.
Okay.
Aeon might have the best of intentions, but the track record of the 2 strikes means I don't think I trust Aeon's judgment.
If you want me to act in accordance to my thing, do you want to say how? I have an idea.
Yeah, give me your idea.
I keep an eye on him instead of you. If you believe him so much and you want me to stop, obviously you don't have to stop, but like you were, it's not. I'm not. You're not willing to have no one keep an eye on him that wasn't one of one of us. So you could have me do it.
If you want it to be your problem, go ahead. You keep an eye on Aeon.
I think she says,
Towards trust and a half.
yeah. I think she looks taken aback slightly. Like she doesn't say it, but she's like, "You've never ordered me to do anything," and obviously it was not really an order.
It was more like you think I'm doing a bad job? Like, why don't you try and do it?
I think yeah, and so she's gonna bounce back and say, "I will." If you think it's if I will.
But remember, Aeon's on 2 strikes. Don't let him talk you out of it. 2 strikes. You bury him or I bury him.
I understand, he says with a very different tone than you probably prefer.
Or what tone is that?
Very much like, all right, sure. Like she doesn't quite believe in the 2 strikes thing.
That's how you do it in
What is a
Bow
strike?
Ball.
In Powerball.
Yeah. It's a Who family tradition where you play with bow balls.
At this point, after he's kind of seen the exchange and judged your worthiness, both of you, um, Qiang basically says, "If you think this is for the best, I will allow it. I will call off the guards. However, if you let any harm come to my daughter because of this Aeon, who you have all vouched for up until this point, there will be no second strike." Yeah. Huiwa dies, so do you, essentially.
If that happens, I'll do it myself.
Okay.
All right. We're at 7:50. Is there anything specific that anyone wants to do right now or set up, or do we want to hit the end of session questions at this point?
There's one thing I'd like to do, but I just had a scene, so I can like wait till next session if needed. Unless someone else, unless there's literally no one else anything wants to do.
I don't have anything in particular.
I need an opportunity that hasn't shown itself yet. So
And Indigo, Dama,
Bueller.
frozen or
I can't tell. Hold on. Is he frozen or did we?
I really hope not.
I think I
If I
see
ping
minor
him?
movement.
This end of session question.
Yeah, okay. Let's do end of session. I'm not sure. He might have fallen asleep. I see movement mildly.
I'm gonna send a ping.
Yeah, he's moving. Okay.
Okay.
I think he's fallen asleep.
He might have fell asleep.
Righty. Resist. Well, where are the end of session questions?
Well, it's on the character sheet.
Bottom
I
of the
believe.
moves list.
Yeah. Growth questions. At the end of the game session, answer each of the following questions. I guess
Thank
I
you
will
very
go.
much.
We'll start with the ones that we. Oh, hello.
Oh, he's back. He's alive.
Hello. We're doing end
Hello.
of session questions.
You're right, Indigo.
You
Yeah,
okay?
sorry, I zoned out.
No, no big deal.
It's okay.
No worries.
My apologies.
That's fine.
It's fine. So we're just heading into end of session questions, unless there was anything that you wanted to do right at the end here.
No, I need to see how some stuff shakes out.
All
Okay.
right.
Just to see what, things start people setting up before I can insert myself to make a thing happen in them.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You
I
gotta
would
see the
love to know
gears
any of your
before you
plans.
throw a wrench.
Did we stop a
Oh,
danger? Oh, I was going to jump into it. Is that good?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Did we stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
We stopped the
We did
scouts.
save those people. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you saved the people. That
Okay.
if they had not been saved and the scouts would have been there, that would have been a problem.
We skipped the did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Oh, that was okay. I couldn't tell if that was the one that's just for me. Yeah. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated with the world? Is true.
Mm, I think it's
Pierogies.
complicated.
The local root vegetables are
The
toxic.
Northern Water Tribe looking
Yeah, the
for
ambassador
marriage.
himself
Yeah.
That's
is a
interesting enough.
complication.
And Kui
Up
was
to you
still
on that
obsessed
one.
with those animals. Of like, no, you don't understand. They're just waiting. They're gonna kill us all.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Okay.
why not?
We'll accept it as a growth.
Mm.
And then this is individual. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
That
Oh
is
no, that's
not
also part of
individual,
the.
but go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's like we don't. It's not a group
Oh.
yes or no. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I guided anyone. I called someone out to act on their thing, but that isn't the same thing. I think.
Yeah, you didn't push me to.
Was it towards center or away from center? Because that's, I think, the thing that mattered.
Yep.
Is it
That's-
towards? Would
It's
it be
towards my center because I'm
Yeah.
more on self reliance than I am on trust.
That makes sense because whenever we roll with a minus for that kind of thing, it means that it's the one.
So then I see it as most of the things are in Avatar. It only counts if it actually happened. So if you did not move towards center, does not do the XP there.
Okay.
I didn't, and looking at the playmat, I don't think any of us are in center.
I was in center, and then you pulled me away from center just then.
You are the one who called me out. Okay, you shifted your own.
That's
center.
fair. Actually, no. Sorry. When I called you out, I shifted to center, and then when I failed the
Oh.
call out, you shifted me back away from center.
Mm.
Okay. Then individually, mine is: did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong, or that you should have listened to someone you ignored? Nope. I still need to do a thing that is wrong first.
Yes, because you have done nothing wrong ever at all.
I haven't yet felt the consequences for my mistakes, though the benefits of privilege.
Other individual questions?
Yep, everyone else's.
Mine was, did I spend time with someone in a meaningful way focused on their troubles and concerns? It was kind of just to get a lay of the land session, so
Yeah,
didn't spend meaningful time.
Yeah.
hard to do that right away. Absolutely. Anyone else?
I don't have a question, so.
Oh, you don't have a growth question?
Nope, my growth works
Oh.
entirely differently.
Oh yeah, you
basically,
have to, like, teach people.
yeah, when I guide and support someone, I can name them as a protege, and then I make a bet on which principle they're going to shift towards, and when they shift towards that principle, I get growth. I can level up.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Mine is: did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others? No, I kind of did the whole like I'm protecting Q thing.
Yeah, again, it was very much a lay of the land session.
Yeah.
Hopefully moving forward.
We're setting up the dominoes.
Yeah.
You have people to work with and situations to work with. I'm horribly curious to know what directions to go. You're intending to have any idea of going so that I could do any kind of setup. But I don't think we need to do that on stream. So
Okay. Then I think we are good.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for watching our first episode of season 2. Next week, I think we're good. Are we good? Next week? Cool. We'll be back then.
Probably.
There's a weekend. The last.
The
Next
weekend
week-
after that, we won't be available on.
Yeah, the weekend after is a no. The next week, yes.
Okay. Perfect.
all right.
Thank you for watching.